And we're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Today is May 10th. And we've got our daily MLB Best Bets, again, full slate today here on Saturday. And I know what you're thinking again, different setup today. And yes, it is very obvious. I'm working with the most makeshift, random setup of all time. Like, you don't even want to know what's behind the camera right now and how I even propped up my iPhone to film this video. The lighting I'm using, I kid you not, is from a Roku, is from a TV, and I'm actively trying to figure out how to keep this from going to Roku world so the lighting remains. But if you see my face go purple halfway through the video, then it means the screensaver's gone off for the Roku. So that's happening, but we're gonna make the best of the situation here for our daily MLB 5 best bets. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. Later today, we're gonna have our NBA predictions. That video is back in the normal setup, so don't need to worry about that. We should be back in the normal setup for tomorrow for the MLB best bets as well. Also, on Greedo Plays MMA, go check out our UFC 316 predictions. Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, takes on Jack Della Maddalena again tonight from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Make sure to go check out that video. That's linked in the description down below, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA while you're at it as well. I will timestamp each one of the best bets for today's video because there are no graphics on the screen. And again, this is a one-day thing. I'm in a random Airbnb right now, so it is what it is. Let's get it going. Our first best bet of the video is going to be the over for the Washington Nationals and the St. Louis Cardinals game. The over is 9. We're taking the over and we're hammering it, okay? Guys, the Washington Nationals suck at baseball, okay? There's no other way to put it, all right? I'm done, you know, trying to hype this team up. We took the money line yesterday and we failed and we fell on our ass miserably, okay? It was horrible. It sucked. The Nationals lost 10-0. We let Eric Fettuccini throw a 9-inning, not a no-hitter, but a shutout against us. Absolutely ridiculous. This guy couldn't pitch worth a damn in DC. He comes back, he goes to Korea for a year. He's now on the Cardinals and he obliterates us. If that doesn't show coaching malpractice at its finest, I don't know what does, okay? I need that entire coaching staff fired. Maybe I'll warrant a Martinez retention for now, and I guess maybe Parra and Doolittle. The rest of the coaching staff needs to be gone. Jim Hickey, Darnell Coles, gone, get him out of here. First step in the right direction yesterday. Finally, Colin Poche was gone, obviously, a couple weeks ago. Lucas Sims now gone from the bullpen. About damn time. I mean, that's the simplest way I can put that, about damn time. But pitching tonight for the Nationals, it doesn't get much better. We're pitching Trevor Williams. Yep, the same Trevor Williams who pitches an 86 mile an hour fastball. That guy is still getting starts in the MLB. That Trevor Williams. We're not a serious organization. We're trying to lose. That's the only possible explanation at this point. Ownership got their ring in 2019, and they don't care about winning anymore. It's that simple. Let's just be honest. It is that simple. So Trevor Williams, with his 5.86 ERA, is still pitching today, and expect the Cardinals to hammer us. But at the same time, Andre Payante is pitching for St. Louis. This is the guy with a 4.75 ERA on the season. Yesterday, the Nationals had one guy show up and play. That was CJ Abrams. Abrams had 3 hits. Ahmed Rosario had a hit. And we're still playing Josh Bell every day over Alex Call. Make it make sense. But I would expect the Nats to get something going against Payante. Again, I think minimum 4 runs, I personally believe. And then at the same time, okay, I think St. Louis is able to put up 4 runs too. And then, okay, well, obviously then someone has to win the game if both teams are scoring 4 runs. And I think the over should hit. Okay, I think that's by far the safest bet today in this game. I'm looking at the money line right now. St. Louis minus 115, Nationals minus 105. I'm just going to go with the over again. It feels like the safest bet. The Nationals bullpen, we know it sucks, right? I mean, again, releasing Lucas Sims, it's one thing, right? I mean, that's what needed to be done. It's a step in the right direction. The problem is, again, who are we bringing up instead of him? It's likely Zach Breisky, who was okay in his one appearance so far this year. Of course, was the 27th man on the doubleheader that was, or the back-to-back doubleheader that was played earlier this season. Against the Cleveland Guardians, which was a couple days ago. So Breisky's likely the guy they bring up. I doubt. There's no one else they can bring up, I feel like, at this point. They're not going to go with the bat, so Trey Lipscomb will stay down in Rochester. Obviously, no Brady House, no Robert Hassel, no Dalen Lyle yet. It's going to be the relief pitcher in Zach Breisky, which I have no problem with, but it's just like, this team is so unserious about winning. We know where we're at this point in time, and I fully expect the Cardinals, who dominated Mitchell Parker yesterday. We need to have that conversation about Mitchell Parker. Was he ever that good? I'm going to be honest, and I fell victim to the trap. I fell right into, Mitchell Parker's having a great start to the year. He's dominating these lowly teams, had a great start to the year, pitched well early, and now here he is, can't pitch the ball over the plate. When he does, it's right down the middle and an absolute cock shot going into left field. It's just, I don't know what we're doing, okay? It's just, I'm running out of words to describe the Washington Nationals here in 2025. I'm trying to be positive, but I can't. Dylan Cruz is batting 185. I'm wearing a Dylan Cruz jersey right now, and I'm still holding out hope. And I firmly believe he's going to be a very good baseball player in this league for a very long time. But this is the type of stuff we have to deal with. It's just, Abrams shows up to play. James Wood shows up to play. We need to extend both of those guys, but we're not going to win baseball games with Trevor Williams pitching in 2025 with his 5.86 ERA. So expect him to get blown up. Expect Andre Payante, honestly, to give up a lot of runs as well. But can the Nationals win? I don't know. Who's in that bullpen other than Kyle Finnegan? We pitched Rutledge yesterday. We're going to see Jorge Lopez. Chafin pitched yesterday. So Jose A. Ferrer to the rescue. Oh my God. Over 9 runs, 9.5 is playable too here for this Nationals Cardinals game. I am not expecting victory in a very long time. I just don't care if the Nationals win anymore. You know, we're in a never-ending rebuild. We can't even get a top 10 pick this year. It's just stupid, man. Over 9.5 runs is the best bet for Nats and Cards, and not over 9 runs, not 9.5. If you have to play 9.5, do it, but I think 9 is the way better bet. Okay, let's go to our second best bet of the video. We go to our first money line of the day. Detroit Tigers take on the Texas Rangers. You know the drill at this point. We're taking the Detroit Tigers, right? I'm all over Detroit right now. In the MLB, obviously, and I guess in the NFL too. Shout out, hey, Detroit Lions Super Bowl winner. I think it's at plus 1,000 right now. I would take it for next year. Jared Goff and the guys are bringing one home. Anyways, Detroit sports are on the up and up, and we are going to take the Detroit Tigers today to beat the Texas Rangers. It's something we've gone to a lot, obviously, right? I mean, yesterday we hit the Nerfy with the Detroit Tigers and the Texas Rangers. Patrick Corbin, and don't get me started about Patrick Corbin, career resurgence in Texas. He was the worst pitcher in the MLB for 5 seasons in DC, and now he's pitching very serviceable starts with Texas, but that's neither here or there. Nerfy hits yesterday with Corbin and Skubal on the mound. We knew again how good we know how good the Hayward, California product Tarek Skubal is, and Patrick Corbin comes through as well for us. Today, again, we are foregoing the Nerfy. We're just going straight money line for Detroit, and I think they're going to hit this. We look at this spot again yesterday, 2-1 victory for the Detroit Tigers at home at Comerica. And today I'd expect more of the same. The pitching matchup will be Jacob deGrom versus Jack Flaherty. DeGrom's been great all year long, right? I mean, DeGrom, I think, struggled a little bit at the start of the year, and we kind of worried, okay, what is DeGrom going to be in the big 2025? He's been solid. Again, pitching records don't mean everything, but 2-1 with the 2.61 ERA. DeGrom has been more than serviceable this year for Texas. On the flip side, Jack Flaherty pitching for Detroit. His record, again, records don't mean anything for pitchers, but Jack Flaherty, 1-4, 3.79 ERA. Again, I think Flaherty still got good stuff. Obviously, right, Dodger last year won the World Series with them, moves over to Detroit this season. Like, the Dodgers just didn't want him because of their plethora of pitchers like, Blake Snell joining the squad. They get Roki Sasaki. So it's like that Andy meme where, he throws away the toys. I'm done playing with you. That's what the Dodgers essentially did with Jack Flaherty. That was a weird way of putting that. But anyways, Flaherty's been pretty solid this year. Again, I know the ERA doesn't entirely reflect that, but you're taking on a Texas Rangers team that can't hit the baseball right now. And yes, they were competitive yesterday in Detroit, 100%, against right now the best team in the American League, which is the Tigers. But ultimately, Patrick Corbin does his job, limits the damage of a Detroit lineup that has been pretty solid this season. But ultimately, what happens? The Rangers can't score. And that's what's really hurt them all year long. I mean, you got a guy like Jock Peterson still batting in the 3 spot. He's batting 150. Marcus Semien can't figure it out. You bring back Evan Carter from AAA, and he hasn't figured it out all year long. Corey Seager's still out with injury. I mean, what are we doing here for Texas? Now, again, I would say, okay, Nathaniel Lowe would be a much-needed guy on this lineup right now, and that's 100% fair. Even though Lowe had a really bad game yesterday for the Nationals, he's still been very solid throughout the year, grounded into multiple double plays yesterday, but again, it is what it is. Texas struggles to hit the baseball. They just do. And I look at this Detroit team, everyone does their job, right? And they're a complete platoon squad, right? So yesterday, with a lefty and Patrick Corbin on the mound, we saw Justin Henry Malloy at the top of the lineup, right? That's the guy who's not going to play today because there is a righty in Jacob deGrom. It's AJ Hinch baseball. It's what they do. Everyone's a platoon. Everyone is expendable in every single spot. And that's how Detroit's going to be successful this year, right? They were the surprise team last year in the American League. They're a surprise no more. We know how good they are. They have the best, I think personally, the best pitching staff in all of Major League Baseball. And they're continuing to show that all year long this year. And it's one thing too, right? When Jack Flaherty is arguably your fifth starter, you got Jackson Jobe, you get Casey Mize, Reese Olson, Montero, Skubal. I mean, they are loaded with their pitching staff. So again, when Jack Flaherty is potentially your worst starter, you know you're in a great spot. On top of that, game is in Detroit today. I think the only reason this line is even close is because DeGrom is pitching for the Rangers. It is completely even in the spot. -110 for Texas, -110 for Detroit. I'm going with the home team, and I'm going to go with the team that has the best record in the American League. Why wouldn't I? Guys, the Rangers are 3 games under 500. They've lost 3 consecutive games. They lose the final 2 over in Fenway against the Boston Red Sox. They lose yesterday to Detroit as well. Yeah, we're going with the Tigers again. Fire me up with Detroit. They're on fire right now. They're the best team in the American League. Give me the Detroit Tigers to win it here at home against the Texas Rangers. Let's go on to our third best bet of the video, and we move to our daily NRFI, our daily NRFI of the day. We go to Miami, Florida for the Chicago White Sox and to Chicago for the Chicago White Sox and the Miami Marlins. Okay, ultimate toilet bowl, right? I mean, you know what this is. Arguably the 2 worst teams in baseball, not named the Colorado Rockies. And, shout out to Colorado yesterday, putting up somewhat of a fight against the San Diego Padres. And real quick, yeah, yesterday was not our day. I think, we went 1-4 yesterday, unfortunately. Shout out to the NRFI. We stay hot with that. But yesterday was not our best day on the channel. Anyways, today's NRFI ride takes place in Chicago, Illinois, White Sox and Marlins. I don't mind it. Pitching matchup tonight, Edward Cabrera versus Shane Smith. Now, Edward Cabrera has been shaky this season, right? You look at the ERA 6.29. We know how good his stuff is, right? We know the velo that Cabrera has. We know that the sink and cut that he's going to have on a lot of his fastballs, and really even the hook that he will have on his slider too. But, I see the potential with Cabrera. We've seen it for a very long time at this point. I just compare that to what the White Sox have in their lineup, and I think we're going to be okay. As long as Cabrera limits the free pass. Because honestly, that's what's going to determine if if we win this bet or not today. Because if Cabrera can keep the White Sox off the base paths in the first inning just with walks, we should be fine. Because I don't trust the White Sox in putting together multiple hits off of Edward Cabrera. And that's not especially really an Edward Cabrera thing. That's just a Chicago White Sox bats thing. They really don't hit the ball all that well. Now, again, when we look at the first 3 guys in each of the orders, and by the way, Shane Smith pitching for Chicago, I've said it before, guys, and I'm going to say it again. I don't think the White Sox pitching staff's all that bad. I know this team's horrible. They're, 17 games under 500. They're 11-28. I understand that. I don't think their pitching staff's all that bad. What does kill them every single day, though, obviously, are their bats. I mean, look who is in this lineup. They got a guy in Luis Robert who was supposed to be a prime trade candidate this season, who's batting, 180? They have guys who can randomly go off. I'm looking at a guy like Brooks Baldwin who can put the ball over the fence at times. Hell, I saw him in Sacramento hit one over the fence against Mason Miller in the 9th inning, right? They have guys who have sneaky pop, like Andrew Vaughn will every once in a while put a ball in the gap and send it for extra bases. But again, the problem is that it's far and few in between, right? That's not going to consistently show up on the stat sheet for Chicago, and same can be said about Miami, right? There's guys on this team. Agustin Ramirez might be the NL Rookie of the Year this season. Again, a long season ahead, but the way things are going right now with Dylan Cruz, and who knows what happens with Roki Sasaki down the stretch of the season, there's a possibility that guy could be the Rookie of the Year. But again, the problem is there's no consistency on either side, and I think in a matchup like this, right, the pitching is going to prevail, I think personally. NRFI did not hit yesterday, as the Marlins did score in the top of the first. It was a Jesus Sanchez single off of Bryce Wilson that did put the Miami Marlins on the board in the first. I don't think that happens tonight. Again, Shane Smith is a better pitcher for Chicago than Wilson. ERA in the 2s this season. And look what Miami's got at the top of the lineup. Xavier Edwards has cooled off since his hot start to the season. Jesus Sanchez in the 2, again, a veteran who can produce. I guess we can call Jesus Sanchez a veteran at this point. I feel like it's a matter of time before he gets moved, right? Start of the year on the IL. I feel like Sanchez is probably going to get off this team eventually just because they're in a never-ending rebuild like the Washington Nationals. Wagman in the 3, Ramirez in the 4, Stowers in the 5. Yes, Ramirez can hit the ball hard. I feel like every out he makes is hard contact, but no one in this lineup really scares me. If you're able to keep Xavier Edwards off the base paths, you're fine. Because again, his speed's great. He's going to work his way, from first to third on a hit. But I think as long as Edwards does not get on as the leadoff man, we're going to be fine and we're going to win this part of the bet. Now, in the bottom half of the inning, it gets a little bit more tricky just because of the pitching matchup and because the pitcher on the mound is Edward Cabrera. Right, again, this is a guy who had all the hype in the world at one point in time, 6 ERA, and the guys he's going to see at the top of the Chicago White Sox are going to be Miguel Vargas. Thaiss, I guess, is batting in the 2 right now for the White Sox, which is something. Luis Robert is batting 186, and potentially an Andrew Vaughn in the 4 spot. A lot of righty-righty, though. You know, I mean, those are a lot of favorable matchups for Cabrera. If he's able to get that cut on the fastball, I think he's going to be okay. And I don't trust the Chicago White Sox to score against anybody. I know they won yesterday 6-2. They had a big 7th inning with some errors and some walks. It wasn't really hitting production out of the Chicago White Sox that had him a big inning. Hell, the Marlins actually out-hit them yesterday 7-6, but ultimately the White Sox were victorious. I don't see any runs going through in the first inning. I don't see any runs being plated in the first. I do think the pitchers are going to prevail. I think the easier spot, obviously, is with Shane Smith in Chicago against the Marlins. Even though I do feel like the Marlins bats are better, I like the pitcher in that matchup there with Smith. And then I compare that, obviously, to Edward Cabrera against the White Sox. The White Sox bats suck. And as long as Edward Cabrera is able to throw the ball over the plate and doesn't walk a million guys, I think we're going to be okay. So that's where we're going to go there. Nerfy for Marlins and White Sox. We've hit, I think, the Nerfy on every single day of the week so far this year. So let's keep that momentum building. We're going again Nerfy from the south side of Chicago. Marlins versus White Sox. Let's get it. Shane Smith, Edward Cabrera, go out and get us 6 outs. We move on now to our 4th best bet of the video, and we move now to our 2nd money line of the day, and we are going to the Boston Red Sox on the road in Kansas City, Missouri, against the Kansas City Royals. I'm going with the Red Sox. There's one reason and one reason only. It's not the bats. It's Garrett Crochet. I feel like every Garrett Crochet bump day, I have something to say about the guy, but the guy's elite, right? I mean, there are so many pitchers in this league I point to and say, okay, this guy's great. I mean, off the top of my head, I will use the term elite for Paul Skeens. I'll use it for Tarek Skubal. I'll use it for Mackenzie Gore, and I use it for Garrett Crochet as well. I mean, those are my guys that I go to a lot, and if I see that guy, one of those guys pitching on the schedule, I immediately point at that game and say, okay, I'm going to make a point of betting this game today. I'm going to make a point of talking about this game because I am a fan of this guy on the mound, and we know, again, we're going to get great innings out of these pitchers. Again, Garrett Crochet is one of those guys. Crochet's been excellent. There's a reason he's one of the highest paid pitchers in all of baseball this season. 2.02 ERA with the Boston Red Sox this year, and they are on the road in Kansas City against the Royals. The Red Sox are favored to win this one. They are coming at you at -120 on the flip side, right? Chicago +100. And the Royals are on a huge winning streak dating back to that Baltimore Orioles series. They win the final 2 games of that set. They go on to sweep the Chicago White Sox in that 4-game series, and they win yesterday against the Red Sox 2-1. It's time for this winning streak to end. Hell, yesterday we tried to continue to pile on the Baltimore Orioles with their big losing streak, but obviously as soon as we pick the Anaheim Angels to beat them, it doesn't go our way. I watched that one firsthand. Great job. Great job. Yeah, that's just unbelievable. Anyways, I like Garrett Crochet in the spot. I really do. Again, we know how good that guy is. And I look at this Royals lineup, right? There's guys, again, who can put the ball over the fence. I'm looking at Vinny Pasquantino. We're looking at a Salvador Perez. And obviously, we know what Bobby Witt can do. We know what a Michael Garcia can do. Jonathan India trending towards the top of that lineup as well. I understand that. But in matchups like this, again, we favor the star pitcher. This is a guy with essentially a 2 ERA this season. And it's not like Crochet's like a Paul Skeens where, okay, his lineup's horrible. Like, this is why honestly, like I mentioned, the elite pitchers in the league, right? Skubal, Crochet, Gore, Skeens. And again, maybe Gore is not on that level just yet, but obviously we talk about him all the time because he's on the Washington Nationals. But the reason why we don't feature Skeens as much is because look at his lineup and look at the team he's playing for. He's playing on a Pirates team who did win yesterday, but they're still 14 games under 500, right? There's a reason Paul Skeens said, he understood why essentially Derek Shelton got fired, right? Because, I mean, you can't be losing that many baseball games and expect to keep your job. Maybe someone can tell that to the Washington Nationals coaching staff. Just saying. Anyways, the Royals on a huge winning streak right now. I think it ends tonight, and I think if there was a pitcher to do that, it's going to be Garrett Crochet. But going back to my original point, right, I feel okay about playing Crochet here and The Red Sox, because of the bats, and I understand, again, yesterday they go, 10 innings without scoring? Both teams score in the 11th, and then I think it was Freddie Fermin who walked off the Red Sox in the bottom of the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously our best player prop yesterday did not go through with Rafael Devers. I mean, the guy's complaining to management that he doesn't want to play first base, and so you're thinking, okay, maybe he comes through tonight and shows management, this is why I play third. He has one hit. It is what it is. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Regardless, though, it was a 12th inning. 12 inning game instead of 11. But regardless, right? I'm taking Crochet in this spot, and we're taking the Red Sox lineup. Again, they went, 10 scoreless innings yesterday. They score in the 11th, don't score in the 12th, and ultimately lose the baseball game. There's guys on this team that can hit the ball, though, right? I mean, I don't think they're going to have that they're going to have that poor of an output again, hitting wise. I mean, they're too good to do that, I think, with guys like Duran, Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman, right? It's a decent lineup, and when you add on top of that Garrett Crochet, you give your team a reason to win. You give your team motivation to win, right? We talk about this all the time, like even with the Pirates too, right? This is a team when they went to Chavez Ravine and beat the Dodgers, we were thinking, okay, and we didn't bet this game at the time, but whole thought process, right? Okay, Paul Skeens is on the mound. We know we have a legitimate chance to win the baseball game as long as we're able to play a couple runs, because we have our ace on the mound who's going to give it his all and go give us 6-7 innings of very productive baseball, right? Same thing can be said in this matchup with the Red Sox, right? You're taking on a Royals team on a huge winning streak. Who do you turn to? Your guy who can get you through 7 innings of one-run baseball. That's Garrett Crochet. Red Sox are right at 500 right now. They're 20-20, and I think Garrett Crochet comes through for them, and we just need some sort of output with the bats, with Devers, with Duran, with Bregman. I think the Red Sox pick up the victory. They are slight favorites here in Kansas City, Missouri, and I think they're going to win this game. -120 for the Boston Red Sox here on the road in Kansas City. As we go on to our final best bet of the video, we go to Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Our best player prop is going to be Shohei Ohtani over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI. It is the first time all year long we are tailing, the best player in baseball, and that is Ohtani. Yesterday, Shohei with a huge home run in extra innings to propel the Dodgers to victory after Lourdes Gurriel hits his grand slam earlier in the game for the Diamondbacks to tie the game. Ohtani gets his get back for his team, a 3-run shot in extra innings. He does the Gurriel celebration as well. He throws his bat. You rarely see emotion like that out of Ohtani, especially, against another team. But there it was in Phoenix, and I think we really have a real rivalry officially brewing in Arizona. Obviously, right, these two teams have always been division rivals. They've always played each other, and we've seen the postseason matchups with these two squads dating back a couple years ago, where obviously pre-Ohtani, but when the Diamondbacks eliminated the Dodgers, in 3 games in the first round, it's always been a thing, right? Diamondbacks-Dodgers. It's never been this big in the regular season, and these first 2 games of this series have been absolutely massive, right? The grand slam and victory for the Diamondbacks in Game 1 2 days ago. Yesterday, back and forth war, ultimately won by the Dodgers 14-11, thanks to the Ohtani home run. Of course, you got the Gurriel grand slam earlier, but Shohei with the 3-run shot, his 9th home run of the season, was absolutely huge, and we are expecting Ohtani to rise to the plate and rise to the occasion yet again. Third game of this 4-game set. It's a Saturday night game, probably the biggest crowd that is going to show up for this series in Arizona, and I think Ohtani's going to come through. Guys, I'm going to read you Shohei Ohtani's stat line yesterday, and this is why I feel confident about him going over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI today. Again, this line is near even, plus 100 or plus 115, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But Shohei Ohtani yesterday, guys, goes 3 for 6 with 2 runs and 4 RBI. Again, we need him to get 3 hits, runs, and RBI today to win our bet. Yesterday in total, he had 9 hits, runs, and RBI. The guy's amazing. What can I say? I don't like the Dodgers. I'm not a fan at all, but I understand the greatness that is at hand with the best player in baseball right now. Pitching matchup, it's Corbin Burns, right? Burns at his best can be really good. He's finally figuring it out, I think, in Arizona right now. ERA's in the mid-3s, and obviously Burns had his really rough start to the year with Arizona, but he's been much better recently. If there's ever a guy that's going to make you pay, it's going to be Ohtani, and I love picking Ohtani in this spot. There's multiple reasons why, right? I mean, again, look at this Dodgers-Diamondbacks rivalry right now that's going on, at least in this series. They're 1-1 apiece. Expect fireworks in this game. 2, Ohtani bats leadoff, so I mean, as many opportunities as possible for him in this game. 3, again, Corbin Burns can be shaky at times. Ohtani, I don't fear any matchup with Ohtani with a righty on the mound. If it was a lefty, I would be a little bit concerned, but for as good as Corbin Burns can be, right, former Cy Young Award winner, it's a right-handed pitcher against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani's going to find a way on base, and Ohtani's going to find ways to score as well, right? Number 4, the Dodgers on the road. They are guaranteed 9 at-bats. Shohei Ohtani yesterday had 6 at-bats. I mean, all that opportunity to get on base, to drive in runs, to pick up hits, it's right there for Shohei. And I think Ohtani's going to find a way to get us those 3 hits, runs, and RBI today. I very rarely go with the line like this because obviously it's so difficult to get because very few players in the game can do this and consistently do this. But again, we're picking the best player in baseball. I'm not trying to glaze him here, but we're picking the best player in baseball, Shohei Ohtani. I think he's going to be able to get us this line. So folks, that'll do it for MLB Best Bets here on May 10th. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily MLB Best Bets and later today for our NBA predictions as well with the postseason. You might hear in that video me talking about, I don't know, because I recorded that video the other day. We did go 0-2 yesterday with the NBA, and I'm going to reference the Pacers and Thunder quite a bit, and we didn't get either of those yesterday, so it is what it is. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more, and Mamba forever.